The Eastern minds knew all of this a long time ago, and they developed a science for God realization. Guess what it's called? It's called yoga. A systematic step-by-step to become God. Well, now obviously it's not so easy, but it's not that complicated. You might ask, well, how do you even know this? How do you know that God is at the center of everything? You just gotta experience it for yourself. I'll give you an example. When you practice meditation, at least in my case, there are times where I've kind of woken up slightly in the middle of the night, but my mind never kicked on. So what happened was that my consciousness was aware, but there was no mind. And guess what was there in the state of no mind? Pure, absolute bliss. Now you ask anybody, well, that's not very aesthetic. Ask anybody, what is heaven? What is the nature of God? It's bliss. What else is it going to be? Is there more than that in terms of heaven describing it? Is heaven more than just bliss? I mean, really think about it. And most people would say, well, heaven is union with God, growing closer to God. And hell is separation from God. So God's radiance is bliss. Don't you see it? And bliss, I like to say, is the combination of peace, love, and joy. Don't you want some love? This is what everyone's looking for. Peace, love, and joy. What else is there? People's whole purpose in life is to find this. And also, the undeniable recognition that your true nature is eternal. That you do not die. And it's one of those things, well, it's not intellectual. It's not philosophical. It's just a direct recognition of what you really are. You see that, oh, well, we are energetic beings. We're not humans. We're not minds. We're not people. We are literally formless energy, manifesting in form. And that form takes the form of a body, a mind, a personality, the mind stuff, subtler and subtler forms, and behind it all is the formless, the ultimate, eternal, limitless state. And then guess what happens? When the mind kicks on, this goes away, and you'll experience this every single morning if you pay attention. When you try this tomorrow, when you wake up, don't get out of bed right away. Don't start doing things. Just sit there and meditate, and channel your awareness into your body, and just feel the presence. It's going to be strong first thing in the morning, and you will feel that vibration. It's undeniable, just silent, radiant joy. Now, what happens next is that the moment your mind kicks on, you'll notice, it kind of went away. What's happening here? Why did that go away? And then you go throughout your day and, whatever happens, happens. But the point is, what happens? The light of God, which radiance is bliss, this is coming outward. So this is source. It's being channeled through us. But what happens, it's like our mind takes that life juice and uses it for its own sake. It uses it to fuel our identity. It fuels the stories, it fuels the thoughts, it fuels the beliefs. Everything we tell ourselves, everything we believe about the world and about ourselves. And it creates this sense of separation from the bliss, from the peace, love, and joy. So we spend our lives trying to find it again, but out into the world. And you never find it. It's already yours, it's already within you. It's already you. This is your true radiance. Peace, love, and joy is the default state. But you got all of this mind stuff covering it up. Emptiness is the natural state of the jar. But when there's stuff in the jar, cluttering up the mess and making a mess, well then the emptiness gets covered up. So too is the water of God become corrupted. Because the vessel is, average. Every religion on the planet that leads you toward God, that's the whole point of religion. It's a vehicle to God. They all have the same underlying philosophy. No matter what it is, it doesn't matter what spiritual practice you do, it's all leading you toward the same exact thing. It's taking this mind, pointing it away from the world and pointing it back within itself toward God. And the more the mind focuses on God, it dissolves into nothingness and you merge back with the divine. The truth is, you were never separate from the divine in the first place. We're just living in this illusion called the mind. And the mind is the matrix, because the true nature of reality is that everything in existence, it's the same one divine intelligence manifesting through an infinite array of different forms. Life is just God experiencing God. I discovered at some point the greatest joke, one of the greatest jokes ever played by God. And it's about science, because a lot of science people, they're against God, or at least they just, skeptical. It's fine. It's fine. But science is literally the study and interpretation and the analysis of God. Well, literally, because everything is God. We are God in the mind of God, experiencing reality in these separate forms. No, drop the B again. We are all dream characters in God's imagination. So what happens is that once you become free from the illusion, the mind begins dissolving back into nothingness, which, most people are too afraid of that, so not too worried about people using this for evil. Evil only exists with the mind. You return to the God state, and you become all-powerful, omniscient, complete control over the nature of reality. You see, the universe is set up like this. Look, there's three fundamental elements. When you look out into space, when you look at the universe, what is there? What is? You got three things. You got stars. Stars are the creative force of the universe. They give life to all things. Everything is recycled star material. The planets, they're not planets, it's just energy recycled. So you got plus. Then you got space. Space is the capsule. It's the environment. It's the emptiness in which the whole divine play is taking place. Space is the neutral element. And well, if you got neutrality and you got positivity, what's next? You got negativity. What is negativity? It's black holes. So you have three fundamental elements of existence. You have the destructive force. All galaxies at the center have a supermassive black hole, slowly but surely consuming everything back into nothingness. Stars are giving birth all the time, creating new planets, creating new solar systems and galaxies, giving life, death, light, darkness, yang, yin. Then we have space, which pervades all things. Now, if you think about it a little bit, negativity and positivity are not two separate things. They're not. They're just two opposites of the same one thing. They're equal in value, but they're opposite in degree. Just two polar opposites. You can't separate them. And so if you put these two things together, light energy and dark energy, you get infinite energy. Because you have a force going upward and out, and a force going inward and down. So one force going in all possible directions. It's infinite. And it is bound by the limitations of space. So we can erase these two variables, and we're left with space and infinite energy. But guess what? If you pay close attention, you can see that these two things are not separate. They are two opposites of the same one thing. Infinite nothingness and infinite everythingness. Equal in value, opposite in degree. And so when you put together infinite energy and infinite space, you get everything. Everything that exists, that could possibly ever exist. And, well, it's called God. So we reverse engineer the universe and get back to the source, the unity behind it all. Separation is an illusion. It's all God. Imagine zero and infinite energy, which is energy vibrating at the rate of infinity. And like an accordion, you slow that infinite energy all the way down to zero. And that is the universe existence manifested. So this right here is the confines of existence. What I have been showing you is that our true nature is the eternal, limitless consciousness, the divine essence of God. Behind it all, God experiencing itself. God in the formless, limitless, eternal state. And God in form, in time, limitation, but all the same one. Now, let me ask you this. Who has dominion? Who is more powerful? Is it God in the infinite formless state, or is it God in the limited temporary state? All of this to say, to explain, why the yogis, the mystics, the enlightened saints, they do not have limitations. They're not limited by the laws of science. They're not limited by anything. Because God is unlimited and has absolute dominion over its own self in the limited form. So, for instance, the true nature of reality is that this duck, see this duck? It's not separate from me in any way. It's made up of the same stuff. It's just the same energy. Everything on earth is the same one energy. So, theoretically speaking, if I was tapped into my God power, I could make this duck disappear. I could turn it into whatever I want. I could levitate it. Let's see. See if I can do it. Oh, maybe next time. I'm not quite there yet, okay? Now, the point of this is not to have special powers. Although it's cool. But don't get trapped in thinking that really means something. It's not going to help your spiritual progress. And it can even be a great distraction. What I'm trying to say is that if you want to be at your most powerful, rather than trying to be somebody, become nobody. Like Ram Dass, be empty. Find the inner stillness. And this is what I'm going to do, at least for a bit, or forever, maybe. I like to leave my options open. Prioritizing emptiness, becoming nothing, returning to the void. Because the more one surrenders to emptiness, they are free from the chains of the mind, and the light of God effortlessly shines forth. And you bring forth heaven on earth, because you become a pure and divine vessel for God.